Picture this, the South China Sea, vast, contested, full of big expensive American warships. They were steaming along doing their usual naval things, confident, bristling with firepower. Then, something happened, or rather, something happened. No explosions, no dramatic confrontations, instead, a quiet order. A change of course. The US Navy, the most powerful navy on the planet, decided to leave. Yes, leave. They packed up their billion-dollar toys and sailed away. Not with a bang, but with the low hum of engines heading in the opposite direction. It was baffling. What could possibly make Uncle Sam's finest turntail? A new type of torpedo? Some unholy sea monster? No, it was something far more insidious. Something that doesn't fire a shot. Its weapon is silence. Its ammunition is information. This wasn't a retreat from a visible threat. It was an acknowledgement of an invisible one. A force that could see their every move, hear their every whisper. This wasn't a tactical withdrawal. It felt different. It felt like a superpower blinking first. This quiet pullback sent ripples through naval commands worldwide. It signaled that the rules of engagement at sea might be changing, and not in a way that involves bigger guns or faster ships, but smarter adversaries. So, what was this terrifying silent force? It was a ship, specifically a Chinese Type 815 electronic reconnaissance ship. But this isn't your granddad's spy ship. This is different, very different. It's less about peeking through binoculars and more about, well, knowing everything. Their silhouette is dominated by something else entirely. Large, bulbous domes, strange antennas. They are the quiet observers, the silent stalkers of the high seas. Their power isn't in what they can destroy, it's in what they can think of it as the ultimate eavesdropper, the nosy neighbor of the naval world, but with a budget in the billions and the backing of a global superpower. So, how does this floating encyclopedia of secrets actually work? It's not magic. The Type 815 is packed with some of the most advanced surveillance technology on the planet. Those big domes you see? They house sensitive antennas and collection systems. These systems are designed to perform SIGINT signals intelligence. That's spy talk for listening to everything. The Type 815 systems can sweep across a vast range of frequencies. They can pick up faint whispers of radio chatter between ships. They can detect the electronic signatures of radar systems, identifying what kind of radar it is, where it is, and what it's looking at. They can even try to snatch data being transmitted between aircraft and their carriers. It's like having a giant electronic net, scooping up every signal that dares to ripple through the air. Then comes the decoding. Intercepting signals is one thing. Understanding them is another. Modern military communications are heavily encrypted. But the Type 815 isn't just listening, it's analyzing. It employs powerful computers and sophisticated algorithms to try and crack these codes. Or at the very least to identify patterns, sources, and types of communication, even if the content remains a mystery. The more data they collect, the better they get at this. And finally, relay. The Type 815 is also a communication hub. It can process the collected intelligence and relay it back to command centers on the mainland. Knowing what the other side is saying is good. Knowing what they're planning is even better. The Type 815 doesn't just collect raw data, it helps build a comprehensive intelligence picture. This isn't just about eavesdropping on a few conversations. It's about understanding the entire electronic battlefield, identifying vulnerabilities, tracking movements, predicting actions. It's about achieving what military folks call information superiority. And that, my friends, is a very big deal. Imagine a US naval task force preparing for an exercise. They switch on their advanced radar systems, they communicate using encrypted channels, they launch aircraft. The Type 815, lurking nearby, diligently records all of this. It notes the frequencies used, the types of radar signals, the patterns of communication, the electronic signatures of the aircraft. Over time, this builds an invaluable library of information. A database of how the US Navy operates, what its strengths are, and crucially, what its weaknesses might be. This information has immense strategic value. It can be used to develop countermeasures, to jam US communications or radar at a critical moment, to understand the capabilities of new American weapon systems simply by analyzing their electronic emissions during tests. It can inform China's own military technology development, helping them to build systems that can counter or evade US capabilities. It's a silent arms race, fought in the electromagnetic spectrum. and the Type 815 is China's star player. Furthermore, the presence of a Type 815 can force an opponent to change their behavior. Do you operate normally and risk giving away valuable intelligence? Or do you restrict your emissions, limit your training, and operate at less than full capability? This is the dilemma these ships create. Section 5. The new battlefield information, not ammunition. For centuries, naval power was measured in firepower. But the Type 815 represents a profound shift, a move to information warfare. Collecting and exploiting information can be more decisive than missiles. The Type 815 is a weapon for this conflict. All major powers are investing in intelligence and surveillance. The nature of sea control is evolving. Section 6. Minds under pressure. The psychological toll of constant watch. Imagine you're a sailor on a US warship. You know that somewhere over the horizon, or maybe just a few miles away, there's a Chinese spy ship. It's not threatening you directly. It's not pointing guns at you, it's just there, listening, watching, recording, every radio transmission you make, every radar pulse your ship emits, every electronic signal. How would that make you feel? Probably a little bit creeped out, and a lot more stressed. This constant surveillance has a significant psychological impact. It creates an environment of perpetual scrutiny. Crew members have to be constantly aware that their actions, their communications, even their routine operations are being analyzed by a potential adversary. This can lead to increased stress, fatigue, and a heightened sense of paranoia. The feeling of being constantly watched can erode morale. It can make people second-guess their decisions. It's like having a very persistent, very technologically advanced stalker for an entire navy. This psychological pressure extends to operational planning as well. Commanders have to make difficult choices. Do they conduct essential training exercises and risk revealing tactics and capabilities? Or do they curtail those activities to maintain secrecy, potentially degrading readiness? Section 7. A global wake-up call. Navies scramble to adapt. The rise of sophisticated intelligence-gathering platforms like the Type 815 isn't just a headache for the US Navy. It's a wake-up call for naval powers across the globe. Everyone who operates warships, or plans to, now has to contend with this new reality. The reality that their movements, their communications, their electronic signatures can be captured and analyzed by nations with advanced signals intelligence capabilities. The game has changed, and everyone needs to learn the new rules. Fast. This is prompting a new kind of arms race. Not necessarily for more missiles or bigger ships, but for better electronic warfare suites, for more secure communications, for stealthier technologies that reduce a ship's electronic footprint. Navies are investing in ways to hide their signals, to deceive enemy sensors, and to protect their own data. They're also trying to develop their own advanced surveillance capabilities to level the playing field. If you can't stop them from listening, maybe you can listen even better, or at least make their listening less useful. Smaller navies face a particularly tough challenge. They may not have the resources to develop or acquire the cutting-edge electronic warfare and counter-surveillance technologies needed to compete. This could create a growing capabilities gap, making them even more vulnerable to surveillance by larger, more technologically advanced powers. The ability to operate without being comprehensively monitored could become a luxury only a few can afford. This has significant implications for regional power balances and maritime security. Even for established naval powers, adapting is a complex and expensive undertaking. Reshaping the seas of tomorrow. A US Navy flotilla changes course because a Chinese ship full of antennas is nearby. Is this the end of American naval dominance? Probably not. But it is a stark illustration of how the dynamics of power at sea are being reshaped, not by brute force but by brains, by the relentless pursuit of information. The Type 815 represents a quiet, persistent challenge to the old ways of doing things. This isn't just about one ship or even one class of ship, it's about a broader strategy. A strategy where information superiority is seen as a key enabler of military power.